Hello there and welcome to Sleepy Animal Fact. Make yourself comfortable now. Adjust your pillow if you need to and let your shoulders drop. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey into the world of lions. As you settle in and let your body relax, allow your breathing to slow and let your mind drift to the golden grasslands of Africa, where these magnificent creatures have roamed for countless generations. If these gentle journeys bring you peace, consider leaving a kind word, sharing this moment with another, or joining our growing flock of quiet dreamers. There's no need to focus too intently on every word. Simply let the sounds wash over you, like a soft breeze moving through distant grasslands. If your mind wanders, that's perfectly fine. If your eyes grow heavy, even better. This is your time to rest. The lion, just the word itself carries a certain weight, a certain majesty. Scientifically, this remarkable animal is known as Panthera leo, a name that rolls gently off the tongue when spoken softly. Panthera leo. The lion belongs to the family Felidae, the great family of cats that includes everything from the small, purring house cat curled on a windowsill to the powerful tiger prowling through Asian forests, to our subject tonight, the lion, resting beneath the shade of an acacia tree as the African sun moves slowly across the sky. The family Felidae is ancient, stretching back millions of years, and within this family, the lion holds a special place. It is one of the great cats, one of the roaring cats, with a voice that can carry across miles of open savanna. But we will speak more of that voice later. For now, simply picture the lion as part of this vast and ancient family, connected by evolution to cats both great and small. A living thread in the tapestry of life on Earth. Take a slow breath in and let it out. If we could travel back in time, we would find lions living in places that might surprise us today. Historically, lions ranged across an enormous territory. They roamed not only the African continent, but also through southern Europe, across the Middle East, and deep into Asia, perhaps as far as India and beyond. Cave paintings in France depict lions. Ancient texts from Greece and Rome speak of lions as familiar, if fearsome, neighbors. For thousands upon thousands of years, the lion's presence touched many corners of the world. But time, as it always does, brought change. Slowly, gradually, over centuries and millennia, lions disappeared from most of this once vast range. Forests were cleared. Cities grew. The places where lions once hunted and raised their cubs became farmland and pasture, towns and roads. The lion's world grew smaller, retreating like the tide going out. Until today, it exists only in fragments of its former glory. This is a gentle reminder of how the world changes, how landscapes shift, how the presence of one era can become the memory of the next. And yet, the lion endures. Let that thought comfort you as you rest. Today, wild lions live naturally in only 2 places on Earth. The first, and by far the largest, is sub-Saharan Africa, that vast stretch of the continent that lies below the Sahara Desert. Here, In countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, and South Africa, lions still walk the same grasslands their ancestors knew. They still hunt beneath the same stars. They still raise their cubs in the same golden light. The second place is far smaller and far more fragile. In western India, in a region known as the Gir Forest, a remnant population of Asiatic lions survives. These lions are the last of their kind outside of Africa. A small but precious group, carefully protected, carrying within them the genetic memory of all those lions that once roamed from the Mediterranean to the Indian subcontinent. The Gir Forest lions number only a few hundred, and yet they persist. A quiet testament to resilience and hope. Picture, if you will, these two places. The sweeping African savanna under a vast blue sky, and the dry, deciduous forests of Gir, where Asiatic lions rest in the dappled shade. Two homes for the lion, separated by thousands of miles, yet connected by the unbroken thread of this ancient species. Let your body sink a little deeper into comfort. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Only rest and listen. Lions are creatures of open spaces. They do not thrive in dense, tangled forests where visibility is limited and movement is difficult. Instead, they prefer grasslands, savannas, open shrublands where the horizon stretches far and the grass sways gently in the breeze. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of an African savanna as evening approaches. The grass is tall and golden, tinged with amber in the fading light. Scattered acacia trees, the landscape, their flat-topped silhouettes dark against the glowing sky. In the distance, a herd of zebra grazes peacefully, their black and white stripes blending together in the soft light. And somewhere nearby, hidden in the grass, a lion watches, patient, still, perfectly at home in this open world. This is the lion's domain, the grassland, the savanna, the wide, breathing spaces of the earth where the sky seems endless and the land rolls on forever. It is in these places that lions hunt, that they raise their families, that they live out the rhythms of their ancient lives. Now let us turn our attention to the lion itself, to the body of this magnificent animal. A lion is built for power. Its body is muscular, broad-chested, designed for strength rather than speed. Unlike the slender cheetah, which is made for explosive sprints, the lion is made for wrestling large prey to the ground, for holding on, for enduring. The lion's head is short and rounded, giving its face that distinctive, almost regal appearance. Its ears are round as well, small compared to some other cats, often with a dark patch of fur on the back. And at the end of its long tail, there is a tuft of dark hair, a little flourish that distinguishes the lion from other big cats. This tuft conceals a small, hard spine of fused vertebrae, the purpose of which remains somewhat mysterious. Perhaps it helps with balance, or perhaps it is simply an evolutionary curiosity. Picture the lion resting now, its great head lowered onto its paws, its muscular body relaxed in the shade, its tail flicking lazily, that dark tuft brushing against the dust. Even at rest, there is power in every line of its form. And yet, in this moment, there is also peace. Breathe in slowly and breathe out. Let any remaining tension melt away. The color of a lion's fur is not a single shade, but a spectrum. Most lions wear coats of light buff or tawny gold, the color of dry grass, of sun-baked earth, of the savanna itself. But lion fur can also range into yellowish red, almost the color of autumn leaves, or silvery gray, soft and pale, or even dark brown, rich and warm. The underparts of a lion, the belly and the insides of the legs, are usually lighter, pale cream or soft white. This subtle shading helps break up the lion's outline, making it harder to see when it crouches in the grass. Think of how the lion's coloring matches its world. The golden coat against the golden grass. The pale belly blending with the dusty earth. Everything about the lion speaks of belonging, of being perfectly shaped over millions of years to fit this particular place, this particular life. The lion does not stand out from its environment. It is part of it. Of all the lion's features, perhaps none is more iconic than the mane. Adult male lions are larger than females, but it is the mane that truly sets them apart. This magnificent growth of hair begins on the head and can extend over the shoulders, down the chest, sometimes even along the belly. It frames the male lion's face like a crown, giving him an appearance of size and power that is instantly recognizable. Not all manes are alike. Some are short and sparse. Others are long and luxurious, flowing like a royal cloak. The color of the mane can vary too, from pale blonde to deep, rich black, and every shade between. Each male lion wears his mane as a unique signature, shaped by his genes, his health, and his environment. The mane is more than decoration. It is a signal, a statement, a reflection of the lion within. And as we will see, the color of the mane carries meaning that other lions understand. As male lions age, their manes often change. A young male might have a lighter, shorter mane, tawny gold or pale brown. But as the years pass, the mane may grow darker, deeper, richer in color. This darkening is often associated with higher levels of testosterone, with strength, vitality, and good health. A male lion with a dark, full mane is advertising his quality to the world. He is saying, without words, that he is strong, that he is healthy, that he has survived and thrived. Other lions notice this. Females, when choosing a mate, often prefer males with darker manes. And rival males may think twice before challenging a dark-maned competitor. The mane becomes a kind of visual language, communicating information about the lion beneath. Picture a great male lion with a mane of deep brown, almost black, thick and full around his face. He moves slowly, deliberately, with the confidence of one who knows his own strength. The mane ripples as he walks, catching the light, a living crown upon his shoulders. Let your mind drift now, soft and easy, like clouds moving across a quiet sky. But nature is endlessly adaptable, and not all male lions have impressive manes. In very hot regions, such as Tsavo in Kenya, many male lions are naturally maneless, or have manes so reduced that they are barely visible. Why? Because a large, thick mane is warm. In cooler climates, this might be an advantage, providing insulation and protection. But in the fierce heat of Tsavo, where temperatures climb high and shade is scarce, a heavy mane becomes a burden. It traps heat against the body. It makes the lion uncomfortable, overheated, less able to hunt and fight effectively. And so, over generations, the lions of Tsavo have adapted. Their manes have shrunk or disappeared, allowing them to stay cooler in their harsh environment. These maneless males are no less powerful, no less impressive in their own way. They are simply shaped by a different set of pressures, a different balance of needs. This is the quiet wisdom of evolution, always adjusting, always finding new solutions, always fitting the animal to its world. There is a trade-off in the mane, as there is in so many things in life. A large, dark mane makes a male lion more attractive to females. It signals his strength and health. It helps him win mates and pass on his genes. But that same impressive mane also makes him more visible to rival males who might challenge him, and to prey animals who might see him coming from farther away. A heavily maned lion cannot hide as easily in the grass. He cannot stalk as silently as his sleeker companions. His glory is also, in some ways, his vulnerability. And so the lion lives with this balance. The beauty that attracts also exposes. The strength that protects also burdens. There is a lesson here, perhaps, about the nature of gifts and their costs. But that is a thought for another time. For now, simply rest with the image of the lion, magnificent and imperfect, perfectly adapted to his imperfect world. Let your eyes grow heavy if they haven't already. Let your breathing slow even further. We have many more gentle facts ahead, and all the time in the world to explore them. If you drifted off for a moment, that's perfectly fine. You can return to sleep whenever you're ready. These words will be here, gentle and steady, as you rest. We spoke of the lion's coloring, that beautiful range of tawny gold and soft gray and warm brown. But the color is not just for beauty. It serves a deeper purpose, one that has been refined over countless generations. The lion's tawny coat acts as camouflage. Picture the African savanna in the dry season. The grasses have faded from green to gold. The earth is dusty, pale, the color of old parchment. And moving through this landscape, low and slow, is a lioness. Her coat blending so perfectly with the grass that she seems to disappear. This is no accident. This is the result of millions of years of natural selection, favoring lions whose coloring helped them hide. A lion that can stalk unseen can get closer to prey before the final rush. A lion that blends with the grass has a better chance of eating, and a better chance of feeding her cubs. Even now, even tonight, somewhere in Africa, A lion is using this gift of camouflage, moving through the golden grass like a shadow, patient and invisible. Breathe in gently and let it go. Now let us look more closely at the lion's mouth, at the tools this great hunter uses to secure its meals. The lion's canine teeth are impressive. These are the long, pointed teeth at the front of the mouth, the fangs that grip and hold. In an adult lion, these canines can be about 7 to 8 centimeters long, roughly the length of your finger, but far, far stronger. These teeth are designed to pierce and grip. When a lion catches prey, the canines sink in and hold on, while the lion's powerful jaws clamp down with crushing force. Many prey animals are killed by suffocation, the lion's grip closing off the airway, a method that is efficient and, in its own way, relatively quick. The canines are vital tools, essential for survival. And yet, like all tools, they can wear down with time and use. An old lion with damaged canines faces a difficult future. The teeth are that important. They are the key to everything. But the canines are not the only important teeth. Further back in the lion's mouth are the carnassials, specialized teeth found in all members of the cat family. The carnassials work like scissors. They do not grind food the way our back teeth do. Instead, they slide past each other, slicing meat into manageable pieces. This is perfect for an animal that eats flesh, that needs to cut through muscle and tendon, that has no use for grinding and chewing. Think of how different this is from your own mouth, where flat molars crush and grind food into paste. The lion has no need for that. The lion's teeth are blades designed to slice, designed to cut, designed for a life of meat and nothing else. The carnassials work quietly, efficiently, doing their job with every meal the lion eats. They are a small marvel of evolutionary engineering, perfectly suited to the lion's carnivorous life. Let your body sink deeper into stillness. There is no hurry. There is only this moment and the next and the gentle drift towards sleep. Because of how their teeth are designed, lions do not chew their food the way many animals do. They cannot move their jaws easily from side to side, only up and down. This means they cannot grind food between their teeth. Instead, lions tear their meals into chunks and swallow those chunks with very little chewing. They rip pieces of meat free, toss their heads back, and gulp them down. It is a different way of eating, perhaps less refined than what we are used to, but perfectly suited to the lion's needs. A lion's meal is not a slow, leisurely affair. It is quick and efficient, each bite torn free and swallowed, the lion always alert for rivals who might try to steal a share. And the lion's teeth and jaws, designed for this exact purpose, make it all possible. There is another tool that helps the lion eat, one that might surprise you. The lion's tongue is covered in tiny, backward-facing spines called papillae. These spines are made of keratin, the same material that forms your fingernails, and they give the tongue a rough, sandpaper-like texture. If a lion were to lick your hand, it would feel harsh and raspy, almost abrasive. This is not a tongue designed for gentle affection. This is a tongue designed for work. Those rough papillae help the lion strip meat from bones. They scrape and pull, removing every last bit of nutrition from a carcass. Nothing is wasted. The tongue works like a tool, efficient and thorough, making sure the lion gets every possible benefit from its hard-won meal. It is a small detail, perhaps, but it speaks to how completely the lion's body is adapted to its way of life. Every part has a purpose. Every feature tells a story. Hunting is dangerous work. The animals that lions prey upon do not give up easily. Zebras kick, wildebeests thrash. Buffalo have horns that can gore and kill. Even a successful hunt can leave a lion injured. But the lion has a subtle defense against these dangers. The skin around a lion's belly is loose, not tight and stretched, but hanging and flexible. This loose skin helps protect the lion from the kicks and horns of struggling prey. When a hoof strikes that loose skin, the impact is absorbed differently than it would be if the skin were taut. There is give, there is flex, and the vital organs beneath are somewhat shielded. It is not perfect protection. Lions are still injured, still killed in the course of hunting. But it is something. It is one more small advantage in the lion's favor. Think of it as a kind of natural armor, soft and hidden, built into the lion's very body. One more gift from millions of years of evolution. Now we come to something that makes the lion truly unique among cats. Lions are the only truly social cats. All other wild cats are essentially solitary. Tigers hunt alone. Leopards live alone. Even cheetahs, which sometimes form small groups of brothers, do not have the complex social structures that lions do. But lions are different. Lions live in family groups called prides, and these prides are not just random collections of individuals. They are organized, structured, bound by relationships and rules that have evolved over countless generations. This social nature changes everything about how lions live, how they hunt, how they raise their young, how they defend their territory. It is the key to understanding the lion, and it sets them apart from every other cat on earth. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on a slow river. There is nothing to hold onto, nothing to grasp. Only the gentle current carrying you along. A pride is typically built around a core of related females. Sisters, daughters, mothers, aunts. Generation after generation of lionesses born in the same territory. Raised in the same pride, connected by blood. Alongside these females are their cubs. The next generation tumbling and playing, learning the skills they will need to survive. And then there are the adult males. One or sometimes a few who have joined the pride from outside. These males are not related to the females. They were born elsewhere in other prides, and as young adults they left their birth prides to seek their fortunes. The males who manage to join a pride and hold it are the successful ones, the strong ones, the ones who will father the next generation of cubs. This structure, related females, their offspring, and unrelated males, is the heart of lion society. It is a pattern repeated in pride after pride across all the lion territories of Africa. The female lions in a pride share a deep bond. They are family in the truest sense, not just living together, but related by blood, connected by generations of shared ancestry. These females usually stay in their natal area for their entire lives. The territory where they were born becomes the territory where they hunt, where they raise their own cubs, where they eventually grow old. They know every rock, every tree, every waterhole. The land is part of them and they are part of it. Males, on the other hand, live a different story. When young males reach maturity, they typically leave the pride or are driven out. They become nomads, wandering alone or with brothers, searching for a pride of their own to claim. This difference between the sexes, the rooted, stable females and the wandering, seeking males, shapes everything about lion society. It is a pattern written deep into the lion's nature. A pride can range in size from as few as 10 members to as many as 40 or more. The exact number depends on many factors: how much prey is available, how much water, how much territory can be defended. There is a balance to be found. A pride that is too small may not be able to defend its territory or hunt large prey effectively. A pride that is too large may struggle to find enough food for everyone, especially in lean times. And so the pride settles into a size that works, large enough to thrive, small enough to sustain. This balance shifts with the seasons, with the rains, with the movement of the great herds. The pride adapts, always finding the right size for the moment. And so we have begun our journey into the world of lions. We have learned of their ancient name, Panthera leo, and their place in the great family of cats. We have traced their range from the vast territories of history to the smaller but still precious lands they hold today. We have explored their habitat, their appearance, the meaning of the mane, the tools of teeth and tongue and loose skin. And we have begun to understand what makes the lion unique among all cats: its social nature, its life in prides, the bonds of family that hold it together. There is so much more to discover, but for now, let this be enough. Let these facts settle softly in your mind like leaves falling onto still water. There is no need to hold onto them tightly. They will be there when you wake. For now, rest. Breathe slowly. Let the image of the lion at peace, resting in the shade of an acacia tree, surrounded by pride mates, safe in the golden grass, carry you gently into sleep. Whether you have been listening all along or are just now joining us, you are welcome here. Let your body settle. Let your breath find its own slow rhythm. And let us continue, together, into the quiet heart of lion society. We spoke before of how prides are built around related females, sisters and daughters and mothers, all connected by blood. Now let us look more closely at this remarkable arrangement. The core stability of any pride comes from the lionesses. These related females remain in their birth pride for their entire lives, forming what scientists call a matrilineal foundation. Matrilineal meaning traced through the mother's line. Generation after generation, the daughters stay, and their daughters stay, and the pride continues. This is the bedrock of lion society. While males come and go, arriving as young adults, leaving or being driven out after a few years, the females remain constant. They are the memory of the pride. They know the territory's secrets. They remember where water can be found in the driest months, where the prey gathers when the rains return, where danger lurks and where safety lies. The lionesses are the keepers of knowledge, passed down from mother to daughter across the generations. And this continuity, this unbroken chain of related females, gives the pride its strength and its stability. Within this framework of related females, lions exhibit remarkably complex social dynamics. A pride is not simply a group of cats living near each other. It is a society with relationships and hierarchies, alliances and tensions, cooperation and competition. These dynamics have evolved over millions of years, shaped by the pressures of survival. Lions that worked well together caught more prey. Lions that supported each other raised more cubs. Lions that maintained social bonds were more likely to thrive. And so, over countless generations, the intricate social life of the lion was refined and perfected. Every interaction within a pride serves a purpose. Every behavior, from a gentle head rub to a warning growl, is part of a larger pattern that ensures the group's survival. The pride is like a living organism, greater than the sum of its parts, sustained by the connections between its members. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw soften. There is nothing you need to do but rest. Within the pride, different lions have different roles, and understanding these roles helps us appreciate how the pride functions as a whole. The females do most of the cooperative hunting. They are the primary providers, working together to bring down prey that a single lion could never catch alone. Hunting is their domain, their expertise, their contribution to the pride's survival. The males, meanwhile, focus primarily on defense. They patrol the territory. They drive away intruders. They protect the pride from rival males who might threaten the cubs or try to take over. A male lion's life is one of vigilance and confrontation, always ready to meet challenges that come from outside. This division of labor is not rigid. Males do hunt sometimes, and females certainly help defend the pride. But in general, the pattern holds. Females hunt, males protect, and together, each contributing what they do best, the pride thrives. The cooperative hunts of lionesses are remarkable to witness, even if only in imagination. Picture the scene. Dusk is falling over the savanna. A herd of zebra grazes in the fading light, unaware of the danger that watches from the tall grass. And there, spread out in a careful formation, several lionesses wait. They have done this before many times. They know their roles. One lioness, or perhaps two, will circle wide, moving slowly, patiently, getting into position on the far side of the herd. The others wait, hidden, barely breathing. Then, at some silent signal, perhaps a slight movement, perhaps simply the right moment felt by all, the flanking lionesses burst from cover. They are not trying to catch the zebras themselves. Their job is to flush the prey, to send them running in panic toward the waiting ambushers. The zebras bolt, hooves thundering, and run straight into the trap. The waiting lionesses explode from the grass, targeting the nearest animal, bringing it down with coordinated precision. This is synchronized hunting. This is teamwork refined by evolution. This is what the lionesses do together as they have always done. Let your thoughts grow quiet now. Let them settle like dust after the wind has passed. Among the lionesses, experience matters deeply. The older females, those who have lived through many seasons, who have hunted through droughts and feasts, who have seen cubs born and lost and raised to adulthood. These elder lionesses often hold a special role within the pride. It is frequently the older females who decide where the pride will go. They guide the group to optimal hunting grounds based on their accumulated knowledge. They remember which valleys hold water in the dry season. They know which areas are rich with prey at different times of year. They carry within them a map of the territory, written in memory and instinct. The younger lionesses follow, learning from the elders, absorbing the wisdom that will one day be theirs to pass on. And so the knowledge flows from generation to generation, an unbroken river of experience that sustains the pride. Picture an old lioness, her muzzle perhaps graying, her movements a little slower than they once were, leading her pride across the golden grass. The others trust her. They follow where she leads, and more often than not, she leads them well. Breathe in the stillness and let it fill you with calm. Even young lionesses, not yet fully grown, have important roles to play within the pride. Subadult females, those between about 2 and 3 years old, often assist in what scientists call allomothering. This means caring for cubs that are not their own, babysitting in a sense while the mothers are away hunting or resting. These young helpers watch over the cubs, keeping them safe from danger, perhaps grooming them or playing with them. They are learning the skills of motherhood before they become mothers themselves. And their help gives the actual mothers a break, allowing them to hunt more effectively, to rest more deeply, to be stronger and healthier. This cooperative care boosts the survival rates of the cubs. More eyes watch for danger. More adults are available to protect and nurture. The young lionesses gain experience. The cubs gain extra guardians. Everyone benefits. It is a beautiful example of how the social structure of the pride serves the good of all its members, young and old alike. Let your body grow heavier, sinking into the surface beneath you. Let gravity hold you, support you, comfort you. Social bonds within a pride are not maintained by accident. They require work, attention, regular reinforcement. And one of the most important ways lions maintain these bonds is through mutual grooming. Scientists call this allogrooming, grooming directed at another individual rather than oneself. When two lionesses lie side by side and lick each other's fur, they are doing more than simply cleaning. They are strengthening their relationship. They are saying, without words, "You are part of my group. I trust you. We are connected." This grooming often happens during relaxed moments, when the pride is resting in the shade, when bellies are full and the world is peaceful. One lioness will begin licking another's face, or neck, or back. The other will close her eyes, perhaps leaning into the touch, perhaps returning the gesture. Tensions that might have built up during the hunt or during competition for food are eased by this gentle contact. The bonds of the pride are renewed, and the group as a whole is stronger for it. There is another behavior that serves a similar purpose, one that you might recognize if you have ever lived with a domestic cat. Lions reinforce their unity through head rubbing. When one lion approaches another and presses its head against the other's face, or rubs along its body, it is engaging in what scientists call affiliative contact. It is a gesture of trust, of connection, of belonging. This head rubbing happens between all members of the pride, between lionesses, between cubs, between males and females. It crosses the boundaries of kinship, signaling that the bond extends beyond simple family ties to include all who belong to the group. Watch a pride of lions sometime, even in video or photograph, and you will likely see this behavior. A lioness greeting another after a separation. A cub pressing against its mother's face. A male receiving the affectionate rubs of the females he lives with. It is a language of touch, speaking of unity and peace. Let your eyes close if they haven't already. Let the darkness behind your eyelids become soft and welcoming. Lions also communicate with sound, and within the pride, many of these sounds are quiet and gentle. Grunts are one of the most common vocalizations. These soft, low sounds serve as casual greetings, a way of saying, "I'm here," or "Where are you?" without the drama of a roar. Mothers and cubs use grunts frequently, keeping in contact even when they cannot see each other in the tall grass. Picture a lioness returning to where she left her cubs hidden. She pauses, grunts softly, and waits. From somewhere in the vegetation, an answering grunt comes back. The cubs are safe. They know she has returned. A moment later, small spotted faces emerge from hiding, and the family is reunited. These grunts are the everyday language of the pride, the constant background hum of connection and reassurance. And speaking of hums, lions make those too. When a lion is content, truly relaxed and at peace, it may produce a sound that is remarkably similar to purring. Scientists call this humming, and it is often heard during grooming sessions when lions are resting in close contact with their pride mates. This humming is softer than a domestic cat's purr, deeper perhaps, but it carries the same meaning: contentment, safety, the pleasure of being with those you trust. Imagine a pile of lions resting in the afternoon shade, their bodies pressed together, their breathing slow and synchronized. A soft humming rises from the group, barely audible, the sound of complete peace. It is a sound that speaks of home, of belonging, of a world where, for this moment at least, all is well. Let that sound, that image, that feeling of peaceful contentment settle into your own body now. Let it carry you gently toward rest. We have spoken of grunts and hums, the quiet sounds of daily life within the pride. But lions have a much richer vocabulary than just these gentle noises. Their language of sound is varied and nuanced, each vocalization carrying its own meaning. Lions communicate with grunts, yes, but also with growls, moans, meows, and purr-like sounds. They snarl and hiss, puff and woof, and of course they roar. The lion's voice is an instrument with many notes, each one serving a different purpose in the complex symphony of social life. As we explore these sounds together, let your mind remain soft and open. There is no need to memorize or analyze. Simply let the knowledge wash over you, like waves on a distant shore, carrying you deeper into relaxation. While the gentle sounds maintain peace within the pride, other vocalizations exist for moments of tension and conflict. Growls are the sound of warning. When lions growl, they are signaling aggression or threat. This might happen during disputes over food, when one lion wants another to back away from the kill. It might occur during encounters with intruders, when a strange lion approaches the pride's territory and must be warned off. The growl is deep and rumbling, a sound that vibrates in the chest of the lion who makes it and resonates in the bones of any who hear. It says, clearly and unmistakably, I am serious. Do not push me further. And most of the time, that message is received and respected. Even in conflict, lions prefer communication to actual fighting. A fight carries risks, injury, infection, even death. Better to growl, to warn, to let the other lion know that further aggression will be met with force. Better to resolve the dispute with sound than with claws. When a growl is not enough, or when a lion feels particularly threatened, the vocalization may escalate to a snarl or a hiss. These sounds express displeasure or defensiveness. A snarling lion bares its teeth, pulling back its lips to reveal those impressive canines, those deadly weapons that could so easily tear flesh. The message is reinforced visually as well as audibly. Look at what I have. Look at what I will use if you do not back down. Hissing is similar, a sharp, explosive sound that conveys irritation and warning. It is a line drawn in the sand, a final signal before action might be taken. But notice how even these aggressive sounds are still communication. They are still an attempt to resolve conflict without violence. The lion is speaking even in anger, hoping that words, or rather sounds, will be enough. Let any tension in your body drift away now. Let your muscles soften, your limbs grow heavy, your breath remain slow and why? Not all lion sounds are as dramatic as growls and snarls. Some are quite subtle, almost delicate. Puffs are short, soft sounds that act as gentle attention grabbers. Imagine a friendly "hey" spoken quietly to someone nearby. That is what a puff is for lions. A way of saying, "look at me" or "pay attention," without raising alarm or creating tension. A lioness might puff at a companion who is walking in the wrong direction. A male might puff to get the attention of a female he wishes to approach. Cubs might puff at each other in play. These small sounds are the casual phrases of lion language, the everyday expressions that keep the pride connected and coordinated without drama or stress. Cubs, especially young ones, have their own important vocalizations. Moans are sounds that convey unease or distress. When a cub becomes separated from the group, it may moan, a plaintive, worried sound that says, "I am lost. I am alone. Where are you?" This moan is designed to reach the ears of the mother or other pride members who might come to help. Picture a small cub, still spotted with the camouflage markings of infancy, suddenly realizing it cannot see its mother. It pauses, looks around, and begins to moan softly. The sound carries through the grass, and somewhere not far away, ears perk up. The mother grunts in response, beginning to move toward the sound. Moments later, the reunion happens, and the moaning stops, replaced by the gentle contact of head rubbing and perhaps a few quiet hums of relief. This is how the pride maintains its cohesion, even when members are scattered across a wide territory. Sound connects them, guides them, brings them back together. Lionesses have developed special sounds for communicating with their most precious charges. Meows and soft whispers are used by mothers to soothe or summon hidden cubs. When a lioness leaves her young cubs hidden in dense vegetation while she goes to hunt, she needs a way to call them back without alerting potential prey or predators to their presence. The meow of a lioness is nothing like the demanding yowl of a hungry house cat. It is soft, almost tender, a sound designed to carry just far enough to reach the hidden cubs without traveling further. It says it is safe. You can come out now. I am here. And the cubs, who have been waiting in patient stillness, emerge from their hiding spot and rush to their mother's side. The whispered call has done its work, keeping the reunion quiet and safe. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Let your mind drift on soft currents of calm. There is one more quiet vocalization worth mentioning, one that reveals the careful world of a mother lion. Woofs are rare, sharp barks that serve a very specific purpose. They startle cubs into hiding during sudden danger. Imagine a lioness resting near her cubs when she suddenly senses something wrong. Perhaps the scent of a hyena on the wind, or the distant shape of a rival lion approaching. There is no time for gentle sounds. No time for soft meows or reassuring grunts. Danger is immediate. She woofs sharply once. The sound is startling, alarming, utterly different from the peaceful sounds the cubs are used to hearing. And they know instinctively what it means. They freeze, then dive into the nearest cover, disappearing into the grass or underbrush, becoming invisible. The woof is a survival signal, built into the language of lions by countless generations of mothers protecting their young. It is a word that means hide now, and every cub knows it. Now let us speak of the most famous of all lion sounds, the roar. A lion's roar is extraordinary. It is one of the loudest sounds produced by any land animal, and it can be heard from several kilometers away. Some say as far as 8 kilometers under the right conditions. That is roughly 5 miles. Imagine a sound traveling that far, rolling across the savanna, echoing off distant hills. The roar serves many purposes. It advertises territory, telling other lions this land is claimed. Stay away. It helps pride members locate each other across vast distances. It intimidates rivals and reassures allies. It is a declaration, an announcement, a statement of existence. When a lion roars, it commits its entire body to the effort. The chest expands. The diaphragm contracts. The sound begins deep in the lungs and erupts through the open mouth, shaking the air itself. But you need not imagine the roar as something alarming tonight. Let it instead be something majestic and distant, a sound heard from far away, powerful but unthreatening. A sound that says the lions are out there, somewhere in the darkness, living their lives as they have for millions of years. Here is something wonderful. Each lion has a unique voice print in its roar. Just as every human voice is slightly different, just as you could recognize the voices of those you love even over a poor phone connection, lions can recognize each other by their roars. The pitch, the rhythm, the particular qualities of the sound, all of these combine to create a signature that is unique to each individual. This means that when a lion hears a roar in the distance, it knows who is calling. It can tell whether the roar comes from a pride member or a stranger, a friend or a rival. It can make decisions based on this knowledge, whether to approach, whether to retreat, whether to respond with its own roar. The night is full of voices, if you are a lion. The darkness is mapped in sound, each roar a beacon, each voice a known presence. It is a world we can barely imagine, but one that is rich and full for those who live it. Sound is not the only way lions communicate. They also speak through scent. Lions use scent marking to signal territory boundaries and status. This includes urine spraying, where a lion backs up to a tree or bush and sprays a jet of strong-smelling urine. It includes rubbing, where the lion presses its face against objects, leaving behind the scent from glands near its mouth. And it includes scratching, where claws are raked against tree bark, leaving both visual marks and scent from glands in the paws. These scent marks are like signposts scattered throughout the territory. They say a lion was here. This land belongs to someone. They carry information about the individual who left them, their sex, their reproductive state, perhaps even their identity. Other lions who pass by will stop to investigate these marks, reading the messages left behind. They will learn who has been here, how recently, what their status might be, and they will leave their own marks in return, adding their signature to the ongoing conversation. This is a silent language, invisible to us but vivid and meaningful to lions. The territory is always speaking, even when no lion is in sight. Let your body be still now. Let your thoughts grow quiet. You have traveled far into the world of lions tonight, and now it is time to rest. The pride is at peace. The lionesses are grooming each other in the shade. The cubs are tumbling in play, their mother watching with half-closed eyes. Somewhere in the distance, a lion roars, and the sound rolls across the savanna like distant thunder, powerful but unthreatening. The world is exactly as it should be, and you are exactly where you need to be. Sleep now, sleep well, and let the lions walk through your dreams, peaceful and magnificent, as they have walked through the world since time began. If you have been drifting in and out of sleep, that is perfectly fine. These words will continue, soft and steady. Whether you are listening closely or floating somewhere on the edge of dreams, let yourself be wherever you are. There is no wrong way to rest. Let us continue our journey into the world of lions. We have spoken much of the lionesses, those steady, rooted females who form the heart of the pride. Now let us turn our attention more fully to the males, to their different lives, their challenges, their own kind of journey. Male lions often form coalitions. A coalition is a partnership, an alliance between two or more males who travel together, fight together, and eventually, if they are successful, hold a pride together. These coalitions are often made up of brothers, lions who were born in the same litter or close in age, who grew up together and were expelled from their birth pride together. But coalitions can also form between unrelated males. Two young nomads wandering alone might encounter each other and recognize the advantage of partnership. Together they are stronger. Together they can challenge pride-holding males that neither could defeat alone. And so alliances form, built on mutual benefit rather than blood. These coalitions are essential for taking over and holding prides. A single male, no matter how strong, will struggle against a pair of brothers working in coordination. Numbers matter in the world of lions. When a coalition of males takes over a pride, their reign is rarely permanent. The pattern, repeated across the savannas of Africa, follows a predictable rhythm. Incoming male coalitions, often consisting of 2 to 4 brothers or cousins, hold power for perhaps 2 to 4 years. During this time, they mate with the females, father cubs, and defend their territory against all challengers. They are in their prime, strong and confident, the rulers of their small kingdom. But time passes. The males grow older. Their strength, once overwhelming, begins to fade. And somewhere out there, younger coalitions are maturing, growing stronger, beginning to eye the territory with hungry ambition. Eventually, rivals come. A battle is fought, and more often than not, the aging coalition is displaced, driven away by younger, stronger males who will now take their place. The cycle continues, as it has continued for countless generations. This is not a tragedy, but simply the way of things. Each generation rises, holds power for a time, and eventually yields to the next. The pride endures, even as its rulers change. Let your body settle deeper into rest. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Within a coalition, there must be cooperation. Males who fight constantly among themselves will not succeed in taking or holding a pride. And so coalition partners have evolved ways to reduce conflict. Coalition males typically share mating access equally, or at least relatively so. When a female comes into estrus, the males take turns rather than fighting to the death over her. This sharing reduces internal fights, conserves energy, and keeps the coalition intact and functional. Of course, tensions still exist. When a particularly desirable female is receptive, competition may flare. Partners may growl at each other, assert their positions, jockey for advantage. But these tensions are usually managed, contained, kept from escalating to the point of serious harm. The coalition is more important than any single mating opportunity. The males seem to understand this, perhaps not consciously, but in the patterns of their behavior. They need each other, and so they find ways to coexist, even when desire pulls them toward rivalry. Breathe in peace, breathe out tension. Let each exhale carry away anything you no longer need. Not all male lions achieve the status of pride holders. For many, the throne remains forever out of reach. These males live as nomads, roaming large areas of wilderness without a fixed territory to call their own. They drift across the landscape, avoiding the territories of established males when possible, surviving on what prey they can catch alone or in their small coalitions. Nomadic life is quieter in some ways. These wandering males often avoid roaring, that magnificent announcement of presence that pride-holding males use so freely. To roar is to advertise your location, to invite challenge, to draw attention. For a nomad, moving through territories that belong to others, silence is safer. And so they pass through the world like ghosts, present but unannounced, hunting and resting and moving on, always searching for an opportunity that may or may not come. The territories of nomadic males can be vast, far larger than those held by pride males. A pride-holding male has a defined territory, a bounded space that he knows intimately and defends fiercely. He does not need to roam far because everything he needs is there: females, prey, water, shelter. But a nomad has no such security. He must wander widely to find food, to avoid conflict, to search for unclaimed land or vulnerable prides. His home range might stretch across hundreds of square kilometers, a vast expanse that he travels through but never truly owns. Picture a lone male lion, or perhaps two brothers walking side by side, moving through the dawn light across an endless plain. They have walked through the night, covering distance, leaving one region behind and entering another. The sun rises on their path, and still they walk, searching for something they may not find today, but will continue to seek tomorrow. This is the nomad's life. It is hard, but it is also a life, and it too is part of the lion's story. Let your thoughts grow quiet now. Let them settle like leaves falling gently to the ground. Every male lion who roams the savanna today was once a cub in a pride, tumbling with siblings, nursing from his mother, learning the ways of his kind. But that childhood ends. Young males face expulsion from their birth pride when they reach about 2 to 3 years of age. This might seem cruel, but it serves essential purposes. It prevents inbreeding, ensuring that the young male will not mate with his mother or sisters. And it eliminates potential rivalry with the resident coalition leaders, the adult males who control the pride. The expulsion is rarely gentle. The young males are driven away, sometimes aggressively, by the adults who once tolerated their presence. Suddenly, the safety of the pride is behind them. Ahead lies the unknown, the life of a nomad, the search for a coalition, the distant possibility of one day holding a pride of their own. Many will not survive this transition. The world is dangerous for young males on their own. But those who do survive will grow stronger, form bonds with other wandering males, and eventually, perhaps, find their place. Now let us return to the pride, to the lionesses and their cubs, to the gentler rhythms of family life. Lionesses in a pride often synchronize their births. This is not a conscious decision, but a pattern that has evolved over countless generations because it works so well. When multiple females give birth around the same time, their cubs can grow up together, protected by multiple mothers. Synchronized births mean that several lionesses can nurse and protect the cubs communally. A mother can leave to hunt, knowing that her cubs are being watched by her sisters, her cousins, her pride mates. The burden of motherhood is shared, and the chances of survival for each cub increase. Picture a group of small cubs, perhaps 6 or 8 of them, from 3 different mothers, tumbling together in the grass. They do not know or care which lioness gave birth to which cub. They are all simply part of the pride, all protected, all loved. The mothers watch over them together, a collective guardianship that gives each cub the best possible chance. Breathe slowly and deeply. Let the peaceful image of sleeping cubs fill your mind. When cubs are born, they look quite different from their parents. One of the most noticeable differences is their coat pattern. Cubs are born with dark rosettes or spots on their fur. These markings, reminiscent of the patterns on leopards or jaguars, serve as camouflage in the dappled light of their hiding places. When a mother leaves her cubs concealed in dense vegetation, those spots help the cubs blend into the shadows, invisible to predators who might otherwise find them. As the cubs grow and mature, these spots usually fade. By the time a lion reaches adulthood, its coat is typically that smooth, uniform tawny color we associate with the species. But traces of the juvenile pattern sometimes remain, visible in certain lights on certain lions, a reminder of the spotted cubs they once were. There is something tender in this image. The small spotted cubs, hidden in the grass, waiting for their mothers to return. They are so vulnerable, so dependent, and yet they carry within them the potential to become the great, golden hunters of the savanna. Vulnerability is, indeed, the defining feature of cubhood. The world is dangerous for young lions. Cub mortality is high in the wild. A significant percentage of cubs die before reaching 2 years of age. The causes are many: predation by hyenas, leopards, or other predators who see unguarded cubs as easy prey, starvation during times when hunts fail and food is scarce, injury or illness in a world without veterinary care. And there is another cause, one that is harder for humans to hear but is nonetheless part of the lion's reality: infanticide, the killing of cubs by adult males. Let your breath remain slow and steady. These are simply facts of the natural world, neither good nor bad, simply the way things are. When new males take over a pride, displacing the previous coalition, they may kill the cubs sired by their predecessors. This behavior, while difficult to witness, has evolutionary logic behind it. Cubs require their mother's care and attention for an extended period. While nursing and raising cubs from another male, a lioness will not come into breeding condition. By eliminating these cubs, the new males bring the females back into estrus more quickly, allowing the new coalition to begin fathering their own offspring. This is infanticide, and it is a harsh reality of lion society. But it is also rare enough that many cubs do survive to adulthood. Many prides do raise generation after generation, and the species continues. The lionesses do their best to protect their cubs, and sometimes they succeed even against threatening new males. Nature is neither kind nor cruel. It simply is. And within its patterns, life continues, adapting and surviving as it always has. Let any tension this topic may have caused drift away now. Breathe in calm, breathe out worry. The lions are at peace tonight. The night grows deeper, and our exploration continues. Let your body rest completely. Let your mind follow these words wherever they lead, without effort, without strain. We spoke of the challenges facing cubs, of the dangers that thin their numbers. But cubs do survive, lionesses do raise their young, and the prides do continue. The rhythm of reproduction in lions follows a pattern shaped by millions of years of evolution. Females can resume breeding roughly every 2 years if their cubs survive to independence. A lioness will devote herself to raising her litter, nursing them, protecting them, teaching them, until they are old enough to survive without her constant attention. But if a litter is lost to predation, to starvation, to infanticide, or to any of the other dangers of the wild, the female can breed again much sooner. Her body will cycle back into receptivity within weeks or months, giving her another chance at motherhood. This flexibility is part of how lions persist despite the high mortality of their cubs. Each lioness will have many opportunities to raise young over the course of her life. Some litters will be lost, others will survive, and those that survive will grow to continue the line. Here is a fact that might bring you comfort as you settle towards sleep. Lions spend much of their day resting. In fact, lions can sleep or remain inactive for around 16 to 20 hours in every 24-hour period. This makes them one of the most restful creatures on Earth. Picture a pride of lions in the heat of the afternoon. They are sprawled beneath the shade of a large acacia tree, bodies pressed together, paws draped over one another. Their eyes are closed. Their breathing is slow. The world moves around them. Birds call, insects hum, the grass sways in the breeze, but the lions simply rest. This rest is not laziness. It is strategy. Hunting takes enormous energy, and the African sun is brutally hot. By conserving their strength during the day, lions save their energy for the cool of the night, when hunting conditions are better. They sleep now so they can hunt later. Let this image of resting lions stay with you. Let their peacefulness become your peacefulness. There is wisdom in rest. When lions do hunt, they are among the most formidable predators on Earth. Lions are apex predators, meaning they sit at the very top of the food chain. No other animal regularly hunts adult lions. They are the ultimate hunters of their ecosystem, the final link in the chain of consumption. Their primary prey consists of medium to large hoofed animals. Wildebeest, those great migratory herds that sweep across the African plains. Zebras, with their striking stripes and powerful kicks. Buffalo, massive and dangerous, but worth the risk for the quantity of meat they provide. Even giraffes, the tallest animals on Earth, can fall prey to a determined pride. These are the targets that sustain the pride, the large meals that feed many mouths and make the energy expenditure of hunting worthwhile. Let your muscles relax completely. Let gravity hold you. You are safe and comfortable. But lions are also opportunists, flexible in their choices, willing to take what the world offers. They are generalist carnivores, not limited to large prey alone. When circumstances allow, lions will take smaller animals as well. Warthogs, those tusked, kneeling creatures of the savanna. Hares, small and quick but sometimes catchable. Even birds and lizards might become a meal for a hungry lion. These smaller prey items do not provide much food compared to a wildebeest or zebra, but they require less energy to catch. A lone lion or a lion in lean times cannot afford to be picky. The generalist approach allows lions to survive in conditions where a specialist might starve. This flexibility is part of what has made lions so successful over millions of years. They adapt. They take what is available. They persist. When do lions hunt? The answer might surprise you. Lions often hunt at night or during storms. They use darkness and noise to conceal their approach, to mask the sounds of their movement through the grass, to get closer to prey before the final rush. Imagine a night on the African savanna. The moon is hidden behind clouds. A distant rumble of thunder rolls across the sky. In this darkness, in this natural confusion, a lioness moves. Her paws make no sound on the soft earth. Her tawny coat is invisible in the black night. The prey animals, unsettled by the storm, distracted by the noise, do not notice her until it is too late. Storms bring opportunity. The drumming of rain, the crash of thunder, the flash of lightning. All of these mask the approach of the hunter. Lions have learned to use these conditions to hunt when the world itself provides cover. And lions can hunt in darkness because they can see in darkness. A lion's night vision is far better than a human's. Their eyes contain a higher proportion of rod cells, the photoreceptors that detect light in dim conditions. They also have a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum, which bounces light back through the eye, giving the rod cells a second chance to detect it. The result is vision that is perhaps 6 times more sensitive to low light than human vision. Where we would see only blackness, a lion sees shapes and movement, prey and opportunity. This is why lions' eyes sometimes seem to glow in the darkness when light reflects off that tapetum lucidum. It is the mark of a night hunter, an animal built for the hours when the sun is gone. Picture the eyes of a lion in the darkness, glowing faintly golden green, watching the world with perfect clarity while we would be blind. The night is not an obstacle for lions. It is their ally. Let your eyes rest now, closed and comfortable. Let the darkness behind your eyelids be soft and welcoming. When the moment comes, when the prey is within reach, the lion can move with explosive speed. Lions can sprint at roughly 48 to 59 kilometers per hour. That is about 30 to 37 miles per hour, faster than any human has ever run, faster than most animals can react. In a short burst, over a distance of perhaps 100 meters, the lion is devastatingly fast. But only for that short burst. Lions tire quickly. They do not have the endurance of a wolf or the sustained speed of a cheetah. If the prey escapes that initial rush, the lion must give up. There is no prolonged chase. It is all or nothing. This is why stealth is so important, why lions spend so much energy on the approach, getting as close as possible before they reveal themselves. The sprint is the final act, not the whole story. Everything before it is preparation. When lions work together, they can bring down prey that no single lion could manage. Cooperative hunts allow prides to tackle very large animals. Adult buffalo, weighing nearly a ton, armed with massive horns and a ferocious will to survive. Giraffes, whose kicks can kill and whose height makes them difficult to attack. Even young elephants, in rare and exceptional circumstances, have fallen to coordinated lion hunts. These hunts are dangerous. Buffalo have killed many lions. Giraffes have broken many bones, but the potential reward is enormous. Enough meat to feed the entire pride for days, enough nutrition to sustain the group through lean times. And so the lions work together. Multiple animals attack simultaneously, distributing the risk, combining their strength. One lion might cling to the prey's back while another goes for the throat. The prey is overwhelmed not by a single hunter but by a coordinated team. This is the power of the pride. This is what cooperation makes possible. Let your body be completely still now. Let your thoughts drift and fade. The final moments of a hunt are swift. Lions usually kill large prey by suffocation. This is not the slashing, bloody attack that imagination might suggest. Instead, it is a grip, a hold, a patient pressure that closes off the airway and ends the struggle. A lion will clamp its jaws over the prey's throat, or sometimes over the snout, and simply hold on. The powerful jaws are built for this grip, those large canine teeth sinking in and locking the hold. The prey may struggle, may thrash, may fight, but the lion holds on, patient and immovable. Eventually, the struggle ends. The prey grows still, and the lion releases its grip, the hunt complete. There is a strange gentleness in this method, if gentleness can exist in such a context. The prey does not suffer 1,000 wounds. The death, while not instantaneous, is not prolonged. And for the lion, the risk of injury from thrashing hooves and horns is minimized by the nature of the hold. Once the hunt is complete, the feeding begins. And here too there is order. When feeding, a strict hierarchy exists at the carcass. Dominant males typically eat first, taking the choice portions for themselves before allowing others to approach. This might seem unfair, especially when the females did most of the work in the hunt, but it reflects the social structure of the pride. The male's primary contribution is defense, not hunting. They protect the territory and the pride from rival males, from hyenas, from any threat that might emerge. In exchange for this protection, they claim the privilege of eating first. After the males have fed, the females take their turn. And finally, the cubs are allowed to approach, eating what remains. This order is maintained through growls and snarls, through postures of dominance and submission. Everyone knows their place and conflict is minimized. And so the cycle continues. Rest and hunt, eat and sleep, the endless rhythm of life on the savanna. The lions we have followed tonight are at peace now. The hunt is over. Bellies are full. The pride rests together in the darkness. Bodies pressed close, breath rising and falling in unison. Somewhere in the distance, a lion roars. The sound rolls across the land, deep and resonant. A voice that has echoed across Africa for millions of years. It is a sound of belonging, of presence, of life continuing as it always has. Let that distant roar be a lullaby now. Let it carry you deeper into rest. The lions are at home in their world, and you are at home in yours. Sleep well, gentle listener. Sleep deeply and peacefully. And when you wake, the world will be waiting, full of wonder, exactly as it should be. The night continues its slow journey, and so do we. If you have been sleeping, that is wonderful. If you have been drifting somewhere between waking and dreams, that is wonderful too. However you find yourself in this moment, you are exactly where you should be. We spoke before of how lions hunt, of the coordination and power that brings down large prey. Now let us speak of what happens after the hunt, of how lions eat and how much they can consume. A lion can eat a remarkably large meal in one sitting. When prey is plentiful and a large kill has been made, a single lion might consume up to about 40 kilograms of meat. That is roughly 88 pounds, close to a quarter of the lion's own body weight, all in one feeding session. Imagine that for a moment. Imagine eating a quarter of your own weight in a single meal. Seems impossible, and yet for a lion, it is simply part of life. The belly swells visibly. The lion grows sluggish, heavy, content. And then comes the rest, the long digestion, the slow processing of all that nutrition. This ability to eat so much at once is an adaptation to a world where meals are not guaranteed. When food is available, the lion takes full advantage, storing energy in its body for the lean times that may lie ahead. Lions are magnificent hunters, but they are also opportunists. They will not turn down a free meal if one presents itself. Lions sometimes scavenge, taking advantage of animals that have died from other causes. Disease, injury, old age. But more notably, lions will also steal kills from other predators. Hyenas, leopards, wild dogs, cheetahs. All of these hunters may find their hard-won meals taken by lions. The lion's size and strength make this theft possible. A group of lions approaching a cheetah's kill is an overwhelming force. The cheetah, built for speed rather than combat, has no choice but to yield and walk away. The lions claim the prize. This behavior might seem unfair, but nature does not operate on fairness. It operates on survival. And for a lion, a stolen meal requires far less energy than a hunt. The calories are the same, but the cost is lower. In the arithmetic of survival, scavenging makes perfect sense. Let your body sink deeper into comfort. Let your breathing find its own slow, natural rhythm. The lion's ability to eat such enormous meals connects to another remarkable adaptation. Lions can fast for several days between meals, then gorge when a kill is made. In the wild, hunts do not succeed every time. Far from it. Many hunts end in failure. The prey escaping, the lions left hungry and tired. Days might pass between successful kills. And during those days, the lions must survive on whatever reserves they have built up from their last meal. This feast and famine pattern is built into the lion's biology. Their digestive system can handle massive meals. Their metabolism can slow during times of scarcity. They are designed for a world of abundance and want, plenty and shortage, gorging and fasting. When a large kill is finally made, the lions eat as much as they possibly can, knowing that this meal might need to sustain them for some time. They are not being greedy. They are being wise, in the wordless wisdom of their evolved nature. When food is extremely scarce, lions have developed another strategy to make the most of what they have. Lions may cache carcasses, hiding them in shade or under cover, then returning to feed over several days. This is not common behavior. Lions usually prefer to eat their fill and move on, but in harsh environments where prey is rare, it can mean the difference between survival and starvation. A cached carcass hidden in the shade stays cooler, decomposing more slowly. The lions can return to it meal after meal, extracting every bit of nutrition before the meat spoils completely. Nothing is wasted. Everything is used. Picture a lioness dragging the remains of a kill into the shade of a rocky overhang. She eats what she can, then rests nearby, guarding her cache. Tomorrow she will return, and the next day, until nothing remains but bones. This is survival in its purest form, patient, practical, utterly focused on staying alive. Here is something that might surprise you about what lions eat. Lions sometimes consume the stomach contents of herbivores they have killed. When a lion opens the belly of a zebra or wildebeest, it finds the partially digested plant material that the prey animal was processing. And sometimes the lion eats this too. Why would a carnivore eat plant matter? The answer is practical. That partially digested vegetation contains moisture, which can be valuable in dry environments. It may also contain nutrients that the lion's body can use, already broken down by the herbivore's digestive system. This is not a regular part of the lion's diet, but it is one more example of the lion's flexibility, its willingness to take advantage of whatever resources are available. The lion is a pure carnivore, yes, but it is also a survivor, and survivors use what they have. Let your thoughts grow quiet and slow, like a river approaching a still, deep pool. Now let us consider something unexpected about lions: their relationship with water. Lions are capable swimmers. This might seem surprising for a cat, given how many domestic cats avoid water at all costs. But lions, when necessity demands, will enter rivers and streams without hesitation. They will cross rivers when following prey, when the herds they depend on move across waterways during migration. They will swim between parts of their territory separated by water. They will enter marshes and floodplains in pursuit of buffalo or other prey. The lion's powerful body, built for wrestling large prey to the ground, also serves well in water. Those muscular limbs can paddle steadily. That broad chest provides buoyancy. Swimming is not the lion's preferred activity, but it is well within their capabilities. Picture a lion swimming across a river in the early morning light, its great head held above the surface, its legs working steadily beneath the water. On the far bank, the rest of the pride waits. The river is just another obstacle, just another challenge to be overcome. And the lion overcomes it. We have spoken of how lions hunt at night and during storms. But during the heat of the day, a different behavior dominates. Lions often rest in shade during the hottest hours, seeking out trees, rock overhangs, or any cover that offers relief from the brutal African sun. This is not laziness but wisdom. The midday heat can be dangerous, raising body temperature, draining energy, causing dehydration. By resting in the shade, lions avoid overheating. They conserve the energy they will need for hunting later. They let the hottest hours pass in stillness and sleep, waiting for the cooler evening when movement becomes easier. Picture a pride of lions sprawled beneath a massive acacia tree, the dappled shade falling across their golden bodies. Their eyes are closed. Their breathing is slow. The world bakes around them, heat shimmering off the distant plain. But here in the shade, there is peace. There is rest. There is the patient waiting that is so much a part of the lion's life. Let your body be still. Let the image of resting lions become your own experience of rest. Lions are interesting among big cats in their relationship with day and night. Lions are usually more diurnal than many other big cats. Tigers, leopards, and jaguars tend to be primarily nocturnal, active mainly in darkness. Lions, by contrast, are often active during daylight hours, especially in the cooler parts of the day, dawn and dusk, morning and evening. But this pattern can change. When lions are persecuted by humans, when they learn that daylight brings danger, they easily switch to being mainly nocturnal. They adapt their schedule to avoid the threats that daytime activity would bring. This flexibility shows us something important about lions. They are not rigidly programmed creatures, locked into one pattern of behavior. They learn, they adjust, they respond to the world as it is, not as it was. When the world changes, the lion changes with it. Breathe in peace, breathe out slowly, let yourself drift. In very hot environments, this shift toward nocturnal activity becomes even more pronounced. Lions living in places like the Kalahari or Namib deserts shift more of their activity to night and early morning, avoiding the worst of the heat stress that daytime movement would bring. They become creatures of darkness and dawn, sleeping through the burning hours, emerging when the air finally cools. This is thermal regulation through behavior. Rather than evolving a body that can withstand extreme heat, lions simply avoid it. They wait, they rest, they let the world cool before they move. There is wisdom in this approach, a lesson perhaps for all of us. When conditions are harsh, when the world seems unbearable, sometimes the best strategy is simply to wait, to rest, to let time pass until circumstances improve. One more thought before we move on. The size and shape of a lion's home range are strongly influenced by prey availability rather than vegetation type alone. Scientists once thought that lions needed a certain type of habitat: savanna, grassland, open woodland. But the truth is more flexible than that. What lions truly need is prey. Where prey is abundant, lion territories can be relatively small, because everything the pride needs is close at hand. Where prey is scarce, territories must be vast, covering enough ground to find sufficient food. The land itself matters less than what lives upon it. A lion can adapt to many environments, from lush floodplains to harsh deserts, as long as there is something to hunt. Prey is the foundation of everything. Prey determines where lions can live, how many can live there, and how they must organize their lives. And with that understanding, let us journey now to some of the most extreme places where lions have learned to survive. We are traveling now to the edges of the lion's world, to the harsh and beautiful places where survival requires special adaptations. Let your body remain relaxed. Let your mind wander through these distant landscapes. There is no effort required, only rest and gentle attention. Lions are not bound forever to any single piece of land. They are responsive to the world around them, moving as conditions change. Lions may temporarily abandon an area if prey densities drop too low. When the herds move away, when drought or disease or migration empties the land of the animals lions depend on, the lions may leave too. They follow the prey or simply wander in search of better conditions. But this abandonment is not permanent. When herbivore numbers recover, when the rains return and the grass grows green and the prey animals come back, lions may recolonize the area. They return to lands their ancestors knew, reclaiming territories that were briefly empty. This ebb and flow, this leaving and returning, is part of the larger rhythm of the African landscape. Nothing is static. Everything moves and changes, and the lions move and change with it, patient and adaptable, always finding a way. In open desert or semi-desert regions, the rules of lion society shift to match the harsher conditions. Prides tend to be smaller in these environments because prey is more widely scattered. There simply is not enough food in any one area to support a large group. Where a pride on the rich Serengeti might number 30 or more, a desert pride might contain only a handful of individuals. These smaller prides range over larger territories, covering vast distances to find enough prey to survive. The mathematics of survival demand it. Less food per square kilometer means more kilometers must be covered. Life in the desert is harder, leaner, more precarious. But life in the desert is still life. The lions of these harsh lands have found their balance, their way of existing in a world that offers little but demands much. Let your thoughts drift like sand across dunes, soft and slow and unhurried. Desert-dwelling lions have evolved subtle differences from their savanna cousins. Lions in places like the Kalahari tend to have lighter fur that reflects heat. Where a savanna lion might wear a coat of deep gold or tawny brown, a desert lion's fur is often paler, almost bleached-looking, the color of sand and dry grass. This lighter coloring serves two purposes. It reflects more of the sun's heat, helping the lion stay cooler, and it provides better camouflage in the pale, sun-washed landscape of the desert, where darker colors would stand out against the sand and rock. Evolution works slowly, generation by generation, favoring those individuals best suited to their environment. And in the desert, lighter fur is an advantage. The desert lions wear their adaptation in the color of their coats. The adaptations of desert lions extend beyond color. These desert lions often have longer legs and larger paws than their relatives in richer habitats. The longer legs help with endurance, allowing them to cover the greater distances that desert hunting requires. The larger paws spread their weight more effectively on hot, soft sand, like natural snowshoes designed for the opposite extreme. Think of the lion's paw pressing into the desert sand, broad and flat, supporting the weight above. Think of those long legs carrying the lion across miles of empty landscape, beneath a sky that blazes with heat. Everything about the desert lion is shaped by the demands of its environment. These are not dramatic differences, not separate species, just subtle variations within the endless flexibility of the lion's form. The same basic blueprint, adjusted for different conditions. The same lion wearing different clothes. Let your body be completely still. Let your breathing continue, slow and deep, without any effort on your part. Water is precious in the desert, and desert lions have adapted to its scarcity. Lions can survive for long periods getting much of their water from prey rather than open water sources. The blood and body fluids of the animals they kill provide moisture. The tissues themselves contain water. A lion eating a fresh kill is also drinking in a sense. This adaptation allows lions to live in places far from any river or waterhole. They are not tied to standing water the way many animals are. They carry their water with them in the bodies of their prey. Of course, lions will drink when water is available. They will travel to waterholes, will lap at pools and streams with obvious pleasure. But they do not require these sources to survive. In the arithmetic of desert life, this independence from open water is another crucial advantage. Now let us visit one of the most remarkable lion populations on Earth. In Namibia, along the desolate stretch of coast known as the Skeleton Coast, a unique population of lions has learned something extraordinary. These desert lions have learned to hunt Cape fur seals. Picture this scene. The cold Atlantic Ocean crashes against rocky shores. Thousands of seals haul out onto the beaches, a writhing mass of blubbery bodies. And from the desert behind, from the endless dunes and dry riverbeds, lions emerge. They have traveled vast distances to reach this unlikely bounty. The seals are not the lion's traditional prey. They are awkward on land but dangerous, with sharp teeth and considerable strength. Hunting them requires different techniques than hunting zebra or wildebeest. And yet these lions have learned. They have adapted. They have added seals to their diet, finding sustenance in one of the harshest places on Earth. This is the creativity of evolution, the endless flexibility of life. When the familiar prey is scarce, find something new. When the world changes, change with it. The journeys of desert and coastal lions can be extraordinary. Desert and coastal lions may travel exceptionally long distances at night to find scarce prey. Where a pride on the Serengeti might hunt within a few kilometers of their resting place, desert lions might cover 10, 20, even 30 kilometers in a single night's travel. They move through the darkness, their excellent night vision guiding them across the empty landscape. They follow ancient paths, dry riverbeds, the subtle signs of prey movement. They walk and walk and walk, patient and tireless, knowing that somewhere ahead there might be food. And when dawn comes, they find shade wherever they can, under a rocky overhang, beside a scraggly desert bush, in the shadow of a dune. They rest through the heat of the day, waiting for the next night, the next journey, the next chance. Let the image of a lion walking through the desert night stay with you. Let its patience become your peace. Not all lions live in dry environments. Some have adapted to the opposite extreme. In floodplain habitats, some lions regularly hunt in shallow water. They target prey such as buffalo that venture into swampy areas, wading through marshes and pools to reach their quarry. These lions have learned that water can be an advantage rather than an obstacle. Prey animals moving through water are slower, more awkward, less able to escape. The soft mud and shallow pools hamper their flight. And the lions, those capable swimmers we mentioned earlier, are not deterred by getting wet. Picture a lion moving through knee-deep water in the Okavango Delta, its eyes fixed on a buffalo ahead. Water splashes with each step. Reeds sway and part. The chase is slower than it would be on dry land, but no less intense. And when the lion catches its prey, the struggle churns the water into foam before finally growing still. Throughout all environments, lions demonstrate remarkable flexibility in their hunting strategies. Lions sometimes hunt by ambush along game trails or near waterholes. Rather than stalking across open ground, they find a place where prey is likely to pass and simply wait. They use cover more than open chases, hiding in vegetation or behind rocks, patient and invisible. When a prey animal approaches, perhaps coming to drink at a waterhole, perhaps following a well-worn path to grazing grounds, the lion explodes from concealment. The distance to cover is short. The prey has little time to react. The ambush succeeds where a long chase might have failed. This is hunting through intelligence as much as strength. Reading the land, predicting prey behavior, positioning oneself for maximum advantage. The lion is not just a powerful predator but a thoughtful one, using its environment as a tool. In some desert regions, where large prey is scarce, lions adjust their diet accordingly. Lions in these harsh environments rely more on smaller prey like porcupines and springbok compared with lions in richer savannas. A springbok is much smaller than a buffalo, providing less meat per kill. But springbok are more common in the desert than buffalo are. And a meal is a meal. Porcupines might seem like a strange choice, given their formidable quills. And indeed, hunting porcupines is risky. Many desert lions carry quill fragments embedded in their faces and paws, scars of difficult meals. But in a land where food is scarce, even a porcupine represents precious calories. The desert lion cannot afford to be choosy. It takes what the land offers, adapts to what is available, survives by flexibility rather than abundance. And in this way, it continues generation after generation, in lands that would seem impossible for such a large predator. We have traveled far tonight, from the great prides of the Serengeti to the small, tough families of the desert. We have seen lions feast and fast, swim and walk, hunt in water and on sand. We have witnessed the remarkable flexibility of this ancient species, its ability to adapt to almost any environment where prey can be found. The lion is not just one thing. It is many things, many forms, many strategies for survival. It is the lord of the grasslands and the ghost of the desert. It is the ambush hunter by the waterhole and the patient walker beneath the stars. It is whatever it needs to be, wherever it finds itself. And now, let these images settle softly in your mind. Let the lions of savanna and desert, of floodplain and coast, find their rest. They are safe in their worlds, and you are safe in yours. The night is quiet, the stars are bright, and sleep, like a gentle river, is ready to carry you away. We have journeyed far together through the world of lions, from the mechanics of their powerful bodies to the subtle bonds of their social lives, from the rich savannas to the harsh deserts. Now let us travel in a different direction, not across space, but across time. Let your body remain relaxed. Let your breathing continue its slow, steady rhythm, and let your mind wander back through the ages to when lions wore different forms and walked different lands. Modern lions, the lions we have been learning about all through this gentle journey, are not a single uniform population. They carry within them the history of their kind, written in their genes. Scientists have discovered that modern lions are divided broadly into two main genetic lineages, often described as a northern and a southern clade. A clade is simply a group of organisms that share a common ancestor, a branch on the great tree of life. The northern clade includes lions from West Africa, Central Africa, and Asia. The southern clade includes lions from East and Southern Africa. These two great branches of the lion family diverged long ago, separated by time and distance, evolving along their own paths while remaining recognizably, unmistakably lions. This division is invisible to the eye. A lion from West Africa and a lion from South Africa look similar enough that only an expert might notice subtle differences. But in their genes, in the code that builds their bodies, the history of separation is written clearly. Within these broad lineages, further distinctions exist. Regional populations show distinct genetic signatures. West and Central African lions form one recognizable group. East African lions form another. Southern African lions form yet another. Each of these populations carries its own genetic fingerprint, shaped by thousands of years of relative isolation. These distinctions matter for conservation. When scientists work to protect lions, they must understand which populations are which. A lion from the Serengeti is not interchangeable with a lion from Senegal, even though both are lions. Each population carries unique genetic diversity, unique adaptations to its particular environment, unique value in the tapestry of life. The genes tell a story of journeys and separations, of lions spreading across a continent and then settling into their own regions, becoming distinct over time. It is a story that is still being written, still being discovered, as scientists study the lions that remain. Let your thoughts drift gently, like clouds across a wide sky. How old is the modern lion? When did the lions we know today first emerge as a distinct form of life? Genetic studies indicate that the modern lion lineage likely originated roughly a few 100,000 years ago. In the vast timescales of evolution, this is relatively recent. Dinosaurs vanished 66 million years ago. The first mammals appeared even earlier. But lions, as we know them, are creatures of the more recent past. The major splits within the lion family tree were driven by past climate change. When the climate shifted, when ice ages came and went, when forests expanded and contracted, populations of lions became separated. Some groups were isolated in one region, others in another. Over time, these separated populations diverged, becoming the distinct lineages we see today. Climate shaped the lion as surely as it shaped the land itself. The coming and going of ice, the spreading and shrinking of deserts, the rise and fall of sea levels, all of these forces left their mark in the genes of the lions that survived. The lions of today are not the only lions that have ever existed. Once, the lion family was larger and more varied. Lions once had relatives such as the Eurasian cave lion and the American lion. These were magnificent creatures, larger than any lion alive today, adapted to the cold environments of the Ice Age world. They prowled the frozen steppes of Europe and Asia, hunted the great beasts of Pleistocene North America, and lived in a world very different from the African savanna. The cave lion, Panthera spelaea, appears in the art of Ice Age humans. In the deep caves of France and Spain, ancient artists painted these great cats on stone walls, preserving their memory for tens of thousands of years. These lions were part of a world that has vanished, a world of mammoths and woolly rhinoceroses, of vast glaciers and endless tundra. The American lion, Panthera atrox, was perhaps the largest cat that ever lived. It roamed North America alongside saber-toothed cats and dire wolves, hunting prey that no longer exists. When the Ice Age ended, when the great megafauna died out, the American lion vanished with them. These ancient relatives are gone now, known only from fossils and cave paintings. But their memory enriches our understanding of what lions have been and what they might have become. Let your eyes rest closed. Let the darkness behind your eyelids become soft and welcoming. Even beyond the cave lions and American lions, other forms of lion once existed. Some fossil and subfossil island forms show that past lions could be larger and more robust than most living lions. In Sri Lanka, fossils of a lion called Panthera leo-sinhaleus reveal an animal that was notably large, adapted to the island environment where it once lived. These island lions, like so many island species, eventually disappeared. The causes are varied. climate change, human hunting, loss of prey. But their fossils remain silent witnesses to the diversity of lions that once existed. The world was once richer in lions than it is today. Lions of many forms in many places, living many different lives. What we have now is a fragment of that former abundance. But it is a precious fragment, worth protecting, worth celebrating. Now let us return to the present, to the living lions that still walk the earth. We have mentioned the Asiatic lion before, that small population in the Gir forest of India. Now let us learn a little more about what makes these lions special. The Asiatic lion is genetically distinct from African lions. It has a smaller mane than most African males and a slightly smaller body size overall. There are other subtle differences too. A fold of skin along the belly that African lions lack, slightly different proportions in the skull and limbs. These differences are the result of thousands of years of separation. The Asiatic lion population has been isolated from African lions for a very long time, evolving in its own direction, adapting to its own particular environment. There was once a question about the Asiatic lion. Some wondered if this population might have been recently restocked from African lions, perhaps by ancient rulers who brought African lions to India for hunting or display. But genetic studies have answered this question clearly. The Asiatic lion in India represents an ancient lineage and was not recently restocked from African lions. These are true descendants of the lions that once ranged across Asia, the last survivors of a population that has been in India for many thousands of years. This makes the Gir lions even more precious. They are not simply African lions living in a different place. They are a unique lineage, carrying genetic diversity that exists nowhere else on Earth. They are irreplaceable. Let your body be completely still now. Let your breathing continue without effort. We have spoken of how different environments shape lion behavior. Now let us consider how environment shapes lion bodies as well. Differences in habitat, from desert to floodplain, can shape both lion hunting techniques and body proportions over time. This is evolution at work, slowly adjusting the form of the lion to match the demands of its environment. We mentioned earlier that desert lions often have lighter fur and larger paws. But the shaping goes deeper than that. Over generations, the bodies of lions in different environments can diverge in subtle ways, each population becoming better suited to its particular home. This is not rapid change, but gradual adjustment. A few generations in a new environment will not transform a lion, but thousands of years, hundreds of generations, can leave a measurable mark. Desert-adapted lions show some of these subtle differences. These lions may have slightly leaner bodies than their relatives in richer habitats. Where prey is scarce and distances are vast, carrying extra weight is a disadvantage. The leaner body requires less fuel, can travel further on the same energy. Desert lions also show greater stamina for long, nightly treks. They have adapted to a life of walking through the darkness, covering distances that would exhaust a lion from a prey-rich savanna. Their muscles, their metabolism, their entire physiology has adjusted to the demands of desert life. Picture a desert lion in the cool of the night, moving with easy, tireless strides across the sand. It is lean and efficient, built for endurance rather than explosive power. It is a different kind of lion, shaped by a different kind of world. Let these images of different lions settle gently in your mind. Let your body continue to relax. We come now to a concept that helps us understand why lions matter so deeply to the ecosystems they inhabit. Lions are considered a keystone species. This term comes from architecture, from the keystone at the top of an arch that holds all the other stones in place. Remove the keystone and the arch collapses. A keystone species plays a similar role in its ecosystem. Lions strongly influence populations of large herbivores. They keep the numbers of wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, and other prey in check. Without lions, these herbivore populations might explode, overgrazing the vegetation, damaging the habitat, and the effects ripple outward from there. The vegetation affects other animals, affects erosion, affects water quality, affects everything. The lion's presence shapes the entire ecosystem, creating balance, maintaining health. When lions disappear from an area, the ecosystem changes. Often it becomes less diverse, less balanced, less healthy. The lion's role cannot easily be filled by anything else. This is why protecting lions matters beyond the lions themselves. When we protect lions, we protect everything that depends on them. We protect the whole intricate web of life that has evolved around their presence. Rest now with this thought. The lion is not just a beautiful animal. It is a force that shapes the world. And that world, in turn, has shaped the lion. Let your breath carry you deeper towards sleep. The lions are resting too, somewhere in the darkness, conserving their strength for the night to come. We are nearing the end of our journey together, though the world of lions stretches on beyond anything we could explore in one night. For now, let us turn our attention to the present day, to the challenges lions face, and to the hope that remains. Let your body stay relaxed. Let your breathing stay slow. There is no sadness required here, only understanding, only the quiet hope that comes from knowing the truth. We must acknowledge a difficult reality. Wild lion numbers have declined significantly over the past century. Where lions once numbered in the hundreds of thousands, today there are perhaps 20,000 or fewer across all of Africa. The great prides that once roamed from the Mediterranean to the Cape have been reduced to fragments of their former range. Because of this decline, African lions are now listed as vulnerable by conservation organizations. Some regional populations are in even worse condition, considered endangered, at real risk of disappearing entirely. This is the truth of the world we live in. But truth, even difficult truth, is the first step toward change. We cannot protect what we do not understand. We cannot save what we pretend is not in danger. Why have lion numbers fallen so dramatically? There are many reasons, but one stands out above the rest. Human-lion conflict, especially retaliatory killing after livestock predation, is a major threat to wild populations. As human populations have grown, as farms and villages have expanded into lion territory, encounters between people and lions have become more common. When a lion kills a cow or a goat, the farmer who loses that animal suffers real economic harm. The loss might represent months of income, might mean a child cannot go to school, might mean a family goes hungry. The response, understandably, is often anger, and that anger often leads to the lion's death. This pattern, repeated across Africa, has taken an enormous toll on lion populations. It is not malice that drives it, but desperation, the clash between human needs and lion needs in a world where space is running out. Let your thoughts remain gentle. There is no blame here, only the search for solutions. But there is hope. There is always hope, as long as there are people willing to work for change. Many modern lion conservation projects work with local communities rather than against them. The goal is not to punish farmers for protecting their livestock, but to help them find better ways to do so. Better fencing can keep livestock safe without harming lions. Improved guarding practices using dogs or human watchmen can prevent attacks before they happen. Compensation programs can ease the economic blow when losses do occur. These approaches recognize that conservation cannot succeed unless local communities benefit. The people who live alongside lions must be partners in protection, not obstacles to it. When conservation works for people, it works for lions too. Understanding lions is essential to protecting them. And understanding requires observation, requires knowledge of where lions live and how they move. Conservation programs increasingly use non-invasive methods to study lion populations. One powerful technique is acoustic monitoring of roars. Remember that each lion has a unique voice print, a distinctive pattern in its roar that can identify that individual. By recording roars across a landscape, scientists can estimate how many lions are present, track individuals over time, and map territories without ever needing to capture or disturb the animals. Microphones placed in the wilderness gather data night after night, building a picture of lion life through sound. This is gentle science, respectful science. The lions are not handled or stressed. They simply live their lives, and the recordings tell their story. Let your body sink deeper into rest. The lions are being watched over. The lions are being counted and protected. Other methods supplement this acoustic monitoring. Some reserves use GPS collars on lions to study their movements in detail. A collared lion carries a small device that reports its location regularly, showing researchers where the animal goes, when it is active, which areas it favors. This information helps reduce conflict near village areas. If researchers know that a collared lion is approaching a settlement, they can warn the community, can take preventive measures before any livestock is lost. Knowledge becomes protection. The collars are placed carefully with minimal stress to the animals. The information they provide saves lives, both lion lives and livestock lives. It is technology in service of conservation, helping humans and lions share the land. Not all lions live in the wild. Some live in zoos and wildlife parks around the world, ambassadors for their species, helping people understand and appreciate these remarkable animals. In zoos, lions are often given environmental enrichment to keep them mentally and physically healthy. This might include hanging meat that the lions must work to reach, puzzle feeders that require problem solving, or novel objects that encourage exploration and play. These enrichments stimulate natural behaviors. A lion working to extract meat from a puzzle feeder is using the same skills it would use in the wild, tearing at a carcass, solving the problem of how to get the food it needs. The body stays active. The mind stays engaged. Good zoos understand that caring for lions means more than providing food and shelter. It means providing a life that satisfies the lion's deep, instinctive needs. Let your muscles relax completely. Let gravity hold you, support you, comfort you. There is an interesting difference between the lives of wild lions and captive lions. Captive lions usually live longer than wild lions. The reasons are straightforward. Regular food means no starvation, no lean seasons, no failed hunts. Veterinary care means injuries and illnesses can be treated. And the absence of conflict with other predators, with rival lions and hyenas and the other dangers of the wild, means fewer threats to survival. In the wild, lions typically live around 10 to 16 years. Many die younger from starvation or injury or conflict. Some live longer, especially females in stable prides. But the average lifespan is shorter than what captive lions can achieve. In captivity, with good care, lions can reach about 25 years of age. This longer life comes at the cost of freedom, of course. But for lions in well-run facilities, those extra years can be comfortable and enriching. Now let us return one more time to the sounds of lions. We explored lion vocalizations earlier in our journey, but they are worth revisiting as we near the end. Lions communicate with a remarkable range of sounds. Not just the famous roar, but also grunts, growls, moans, meows, and purr-like sounds. Each sound has its meaning, its purpose in the complex social life of the pride. Grunts for casual contact, growls for warning, moans for distress, meows for calling cubs, and the great roar, rolling across the savanna, announcing presence and claiming territory. The lion's voice is rich and varied, a language of sound that we are only beginning to understand. Every vocalization tells us something about what lions are feeling, what they are trying to communicate, what matters to them in their world. Let your eyes remain softly closed. Let your breathing continue its peaceful rhythm. And so we return, at the end of our journey, to where we began, to the pride, to the family, to the social bonds that make lions unique among cats. Lions exhibit complex social dynamics within their prides. The relationships between individuals, the hierarchies and alliances, the cooperation and occasional conflict, all of these work together to ensure group survival. No lion is alone. Every lion is part of something larger. The matrilineal core of related females provides stability across generations. The coalitions of males provide protection during their tenure. The cubs represent the future, learning from their elders, preparing to take their place in the endless cycle. This social complexity is the lion's greatest strength. It allows them to hunt prey too large for any individual. It protects their young more effectively than any single mother could manage. It creates resilience, flexibility, the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. The pride endures, even as its individual members come and go. And in that endurance, there is hope. We have reached the end of our journey for tonight, gentle listener. 100 facts about lions, explored together in the quiet hours when the world grows still. You have learned of the lion's body and voice, its teeth and tongue and tawny coat. You have traveled with prides across golden savannas and through harsh deserts. You have met the ancient relatives of modern lions and understood why today's lions matter so deeply to the health of their ecosystems. You have seen the challenges lions face and the hope that dedicated people are working to ensure their future. You have heard the sounds they make, from gentle hums of contentment to roars that shake the air. And through it all, you have rested. You have let your body grow heavy and your mind grow peaceful. You have joined the lions in their long hours of stillness, conserving energy, finding peace in the simple act of being. The lions will be there when morning comes. They will wake and stretch and yawn, and the rhythm of their lives will continue as it has continued for hundreds of thousands of years. They will hunt and rest and raise their cubs. They will roar and groom and walk through the tall grass. And you, gentle listener, will wake refreshed. The facts you have heard may linger in your memory, or they may fade like dreams. It does not matter. What matters is that you have rested. What matters is that, for a little while, you shared the peace of the lions. Good night. Sleep deeply. Sleep well. And may the lions walk through your dreams, golden and magnificent, exactly as they should be.